and welcome to yet another amazing episode of Dependesplaining, the podcast, your favorite podcast. We're here and we're back. Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm done singing, okay? Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Veronica. Oh, my voice is really scratchy because it's really early here. So...
Veronica is a freaking superstar right now. She messaged me and was like, "Hey, are you ready to record? I'm up and I'm ready to go." And I was like, "Sure." It's the middle of the day for me. I was like, "Wow, this is okay. Here we go." And I looked at what time it was for you, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is the early morning."
It's 5 in the morning. Well, it was 5 in the morning when I texted you. Well, because Kyle has to work today and the kids are home, and I thought, well, let me get in there and record before the kids are up, because then it's going to be chaos. They have new toys from Christmas, and they've been fighting over my son's hoverboard. And I was like, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like dealing with it. Yeah. So here I am.
Here you are.
I drank my coffee. I should be good. I should be good.
You're a rock star, Veronica. We appreciate your early morning sacrifice.
You know, I'm up early anyways. I like waking up early.
Yes.
When everything's quiet and dark.
Yes.
Like my soul. Yeah. That's what I appreciate. It's supposed to snow here today, by the way.
What?
Yeah. It's below freezing, that's for sure. I looked outside and there was like a thick layer of frost on our cars. And it's been cold the past few days. So I'm not looking forward to freezing.
No.
But you know, when you're on lockdown and not doing anything, nothing matters anymore.
Does it even matter?
It doesn't even matter.
It could just be, there could be a tornado and you could be like, well, there it is.
It's my time. Yeah. It's fine.
What else are you going to bring?
Yeah. Sharks in the tornado. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Flying sharks.
It's my time. It's my time. How was your Christmas, Jen?
It was good. It was good. Relaxing, you know. Didn't do a whole lot. Made a turkey and a few sides. I still cannot make green bean casserole because everybody's hoarding the French fried onions. So
no.
Just got to have regular green beans again.
Oh.
But, you know,
I'm sure
okay.
You could have made your own fried onions. Listen, it's all about being resourceful and creative.
I didn't even think about that.
Batter and fry them.
That's too much work for me. I'm not that creative.
You know, it's fine.
I like your ideas, though. You know, that's a smart way to look at it, though. I should have tried something. But okay. I just gave up because it's 2020.
Yeah, which is 2020 has given up on us, so we're giving up on it.
Yes, exactly. So, but how was your Christmas?
It was good. Like I told you before we started recording, I was super busy in the kitchen. I was very ambitious, and I was like, oh, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make that, and everything. It's going to be great, it's going to be wonderful. We're going to listen to Christmas music. And it was all of that, all of the above. It really was. But my body hurt so bad at the end of the day that I was like, was that really worth it? I didn't really get to spend that much time with my family because I was in the kitchen a lot. They had a wonderful time, my children. They did. But I was in the kitchen for 2 days straight and my feet hurt so bad. And I was like, God damn it, I should have asked for slippers for Christmas. Yeah. And I kept telling Kyle, I was like, I'm entering the age where I'm going to need orthopedic shoes soon because my feet are killing me. But no, it was really good. It was really nice. Kyle got me a massaging pillow. Like it has these things on the inside that like turn and it's like a shiatsu massage.
Yeah.
I fucking abused that thing so much that I bruised my back. Yeah. My back is like bruised. It's like tender to the touch. So I was like, I gotta stay away from it for the next couple of days. But I was
Take
like,
a break.
Is good. Yeah, I was like, this is good. I was like, this is money. I will never leave the couch again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money well spent. Worth it.
But my back is like tender. Like I can't even lean against the wall right now because it hurts so bad.
It dug deep in there. Good for you though. But it felt good at the time, right?
Oh yes. Too good. It was too good. So yeah, that was my Christmas Eve, Christmas Boxing Day, and then my son's birthday was yesterday, and so we were really busy.
Yeah.
He asked for sticky toffee pudding because I didn't make it on Christmas Day because I ran out of time. So we had that last night, and he was just like over the moon about it. He loves it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yum. Oh, sticky toffee pudding. We talked about it before. Oh,
so good.
So
right?
good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. We sent a package home for our family, and we were Zooming with them last night. And we told them that. We're like, oh yeah, we had sticky toffee pudding. They're like, what is that? And we told them that it was a cake, and it just had a sauce over it. And I was like, oh, I sent you guys a package. And it was in the package. And they pulled out the little cups of cake, and I had sent them something called Spotted Dick. Which is a cake that comes in a little cup, and you just like microwave it, and it's traditional in England to eat that kind of stuff, but it doesn't taste good. It's got a lot of raisins in it, and I don't appreciate raisins other than on their own. Don't put raisins in my food.
No. Did you send it to your mother who loves to put raisins in everything?
My mom would probably eat the shit out of that thing.
Yeah,
she
right?
loves raisins, and she puts raisins in everything. Yeah. You know, have you had I think I made it for you, rice pudding?
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes,
we have that. Yeah, we have that. We eat that a lot in Mexico. And my mom puts raisins in it, and they like swell up again, so they're not quite grapes because they've been sun-dried. They swell up, and I just don't like the texture of them in my mouth. They kind of like burst once you chew into them. Yeah. It's not, they're not
bursting
fun.
Raisins.
It's not a fun kind of burst. Like when you eat the bubble tea, that's a fun burst.
That is a fun burst, yes.
It's kind of just chewy, but yeah. Anyways. See, again with the food, Jen. Again with the food.
It's always about the food. Well, what else are we going to talk about? There's nothing else to do besides eat now with our 9 months or 10 months or infinity months of lockdown, so.
Infinity months, yeah. We watched the movie, I can't remember what it's called. It's with George Clooney. It's on Netflix right now. About him, being some sort of scientist, and the Earth is not inhabitable anymore. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I saw a preview for that just recently. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we watched it, and so they in the movie they are exploring a moon on Jupiter, one of Jupiter's moons, and it's like the right conditions to live on it. I was like, I want to move there right now. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's like, take me there. Yeah, take me to that moon that George Clooney discovered.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. If I can live there, take me. I'm ready to get away. Only just the people who don't have COVID. We can't infect another planet with COVID.
I will respect the planet. I will live off the grid. I think I would survive all right. We'll be okay.
Yeah. We'll be fine. It's like camping though, Veronica. Can you do it?
I hate camping, Jen. No, probably not. But for the sake of humanity, I would. I don't understand the appeal of sleeping outside. I don't get it. And Kyle's like, you're not outside, you're in a tent. I was like, okay, well, I don't understand why I would want to sleep on the ground. He's like, well, you can take a blow-up mattress. I was like, why would I sleep outside on a blow-up mattress when I can sleep in my house on my nice cushy mattress? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to suffer for your entertainment.
With all the bugs and like the scary noises outside and potential like bears or something that's going to eat me. Yeah.
Yeah. We went on a softball tournament. Well, I accompanied Kyle on a softball tournament one year. And we went to Germany and we slept on the field. And I was like, okay, well, that's I know there's bathrooms and showers nearby, so I'm okay with that. It rained like a torrential downpour all night, and the tent leaked right onto my head, and I had to sleep on a soggy pillow. It was awful. Awful.
That's not fun.
Awful.
That's
it was
not fun at all.
No, I didn't have a good time.
Mm-mm.
And so he went and bought like a new tent the following year, and we went on that tournament again. And then I had my girlfriends were with me, and we got drunk and got in like a goldfish cracker fight. It was awesome. So
that makes it better. Drinking makes it better. I think that's why people camp a lot of the times. They can drink. Depends on what type of camping you're doing, though.
Yeah. I just don't like any type of camping. So pass. I ruined it for Kyle because he likes it. Yeah, it is a hard pass. Anyways, do you like camping?
I've only been a couple times, and I don't know. It's okay. I just don't really like creepy crawly things around me, and having to like find somewhere to go to the bathroom and how to wipe and how to pee so that I'm not peeing into my pants, and yeah. This is why men like camping. Yeah, this is why men like camping, because they can just whip it out and pee anywhere. I know.
We can't. We have to pretty much undress and like, stretch
squat,
before
hover.
We go.
Yeah. Legs are spread wide.
Yeah. It's a difficult position to hold because you don't want to splash your shoes.
No.
But you want to get closer to the ground.
Yes.
And that takes some stretching prior.
Stretching. So. You're going to see if there's a tree nearby. You can hold onto a tree with one hand while you're moving your clothes out of the way and making sure your shoes are at far enough apart and angled so that you don't splash all over yourself. And it's not fun.
And it's a compromising position if someone sees you too. It's like, what are you doing?
You can't hide from it because like men can just be like, oh, and slip it back in. No. If I'm sitting and squatting and hovering like that, no, ass is out and everyone's going to see it as soon as they walk by. It's not going anywhere because there it is.
Yeah. I can't cut it off that fast. There's no tucking it in here.
No.
Yeah. So from now on, when we go camping, we wear long prairie dresses.
There you go.
And then just stand awkwardly. What are you doing? I'm just standing. What's that sound? Nothing. It's not pee coming out of me. Yeah. It's not pee hitting the ground. It's your imagination.
You can't see anything. You don't know what's going on under this long dress I've got.
Okay. Jen, first, why don't you tell our listeners where they can reach us if they have any questions or suggestions or stories about camping? Let us know how your Christmas and New Year was. Happy New Year, by the way.
Well, if you have any of the above mentioned or anything else you'd like to share or have a question on, you can email us at dependisbelaning@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And then you can also download the Milso Muster app, subscribe $4.99 a month for Milso Plus. And you can find our podcast there every week when updated, as long as we're there weekly. Because, sometimes we need a break. Like last week in our holiday.
Yes. And like we talked last episode, send us your secrets, stories, mysterious stories, military related. Mysteries,
anything you want to share that could be a really fun story to share on the podcast. We will do it for you. Send it our way.
Love to. Absolutely. Great, Jen. Okay, you ready for my story?
I'm so ready.
It's kind of long. But it's really interesting.
I love it. I got my ginger ale. I'm ready to go.
All right. I want some ginger ale. That sounds yum. I did a lot of drinking this weekend, too.
Mm-hmm. That's what you do on the
holidays.
holidays.
I don't fit in my pants anymore.
I'm wearing stretchy pants from now until the new year.
Yeah. I'm going to ring in the new year. Very stretchy.
Yes.
Okay. So I got most of my information on Wikipedia, an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, and a brief watch of an old episode of 2020. So my story today is the tragic and mysterious crash of Aero Air Flight 1285. So this is a Aero Air Flight, sorry. From now on, I'm just going to refer to it as a DC-8 because that's what type of jetliner it was. So Aero Air Flight 1285 was a McDonnell Douglas DC-8 jetliner that operated as an international charter flight carrying U.S. troops. They had just completed a 6-month peacekeeping deployment in the Sinai Peninsula, which is in Egypt. The aircraft departed from Cairo, and it had 256 people on board. 248 of them were servicemen. I believe they were all men, so I'm just going to refer to it as men. I didn't see any females other than the crew. So it departed at 20:35 or 8:35 for those of us that don't know military time. It had 2 scheduled stops between their final destination and their home base in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So their first layover was in Cologne, Germany on 12 December. Christmas markets in full swing, if you guys have ever been there. Awesome. So at 01:21, that's when they landed in Cologne. There they had a new flight crew board the plane. On this new crew was Captain John Griffin, First Officer Joseph Conley, and Flight Engineer Michael Fowler. So most of these people were like in their 20s, and they were heading home for the holidays. So you can imagine it was like everyone was excited and ready to see their loved ones. So the flight departed Cologne at 02:50, and they were expected to arrive in Gander International Airport at 09:04. Gander is in Newfoundland. Newfoundland is in Canada, by the way. So, okay. Upon arrival, the passengers exited the aircraft, probably super tired from the long flight, stretching their legs, or just, routine. While on the ground, there was an external inspection of the aircraft that was performed by Michael Fowler, the flight engineer. It was refueled and then ready to be reboarded. So everybody's back on the airplane, ready to go. All checks have been done. Let's go. So the aircraft began its takeoff on runway 13 at 06:45 local time. Eyewitnesses, after it had taken off, at or near the airport reported the aircraft seemed to have difficulty gaining altitude. Once airborne, the airspeed reached 172 KIAS before decreasing again. So KIAS is their airspeed indicator. It uses the difference between the total pressure and the static pressure. I don't know. It's a fancy way of measuring airspeed, basically. So the DC-8 was starting to lose altitude. It crosses the Trans-Canada Highway located about 900 feet from the departure end of runway 22 at a very low altitude. The aircraft's pitch increased and it continued to descend. So this is just moments after takeoff, right?
Yeah.
Now witnesses again at the airport or near the airport, and people driving on the highway stated that they saw a bright glow emanating from the aircraft. They claimed that there was a light, a bright light. It took off at what time? Did I say 06:45? So it's still dark out, probably. It took off. They saw something light up the sky. They looked up and they realized it was coming from the airplane, and it looked like the airplane was on fire. The DC-8 crashes less than 3 miles from Gander Control Tower. The wreckage is scattered in an area about 1,300 feet long and 130 feet wide. There are no survivors. So again, this was just less than a minute after taking off. Almost immediately after the crash, a man purporting to represent the Islamic Jihad, a terrorist organization, calls a U.S. consulate in Algeria to claim responsibility for this tragedy.
Of course.
This was quickly discounted by U.S. Army officials who had arrived in Gander soon after the crash. So they said this was not a terrorist act. A Canadian board of inquiry who investigated the crash claimed that the crash was caused due to ice. So 5 of the Canadian Aviation Board made up, it's a group of 9 people on this board, and 5 of them found that during the approach towards Gander, precipitation conditions were favorable for the formation of ice on the aircraft wings. And once it had landed, it continued to be exposed to freezing precipitation that may have accumulated on the wing's upper surface. They also found that the plane had not been de-iced prior to takeoff in Gander. So it's December, it's freezing cold, and it's Canada, right? It's expected to be icy, and it wasn't de-iced, was their claim, which to me is odd because that would probably be the first thing that they do.
Right, you would think.
Mm-hmm. So the Canadian Aviation Safety Board was unable to determine the exact sequence of events which led to this accident. The board believes, however, that the weight of evidence supports the conclusion that shortly after liftoff, the aircraft experienced an increase in drag and reduction in lift, which resulted in a stall at low altitude from which recovery was not possible. So the drag was from the ice. It didn't allow the airplane to fly properly. So the most probable cause was that the stall was determined to be like ice contamination on the leading edge of the upper surface. Of the upper surface of the wing. I had to go to my next page. Okay, so other possible factors such as loss of thrust from the number 4 engine and inappropriate takeoff reference speeds may have compounded the effects of the contamination. So it was like the ice plus these other factors that caused it. But, Jen, 4 of the Canadian Aviation Safety Board people, they did not agree with this theory. So almost half the board, they didn't agree with this. Les Philotas, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. We're just going to call him Les. He's an aeronautical engineer, dissenting board member, and he believed that an explosion took place and caused the crash. He believed that it was a small explosion that disabled the control system and led to the disaster. But it is unknown whether it was sabotage or if there was detonation of one of the weapons on board. Another observation that put doubt into the minds of these board members was the state of the aircraft. It was completely disintegrated. Usually when a plane crashes shortly after takeoff, there are larger pieces of the aircraft that are still intact, and there are usually survivors. Because again, it was less than a minute after takeoff, so how far up could it have gone?
Right, yeah.
I don't drive airplanes for a living, so I don't know. Or fly airplanes, sorry.
But still, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. If it wasn't able to get up very high anyway,
yeah,
it's not likely for it to completely explode.
Right, for it to, like on impact or gaining the speed. Yeah. So, there is usually no large explosion in a situation like this because the fuel tanks are full and there isn't enough time for the fuel to mix with oxygen. It's hard to say that word. Because it was full. They had just refueled. Right?
Yeah.
That would be the cause for a large explosion if it had been in the air long enough for the oxygen to mix with the fuel, or if it just had less fuel. But it was full. So whatever caused the explosion was not the fuel tanks. Was it from the inside? Because, they do think it was an explosion, these board members. But the U.S. government is very quick to deny the possibilities of an onboard explosion. They also deny that ammunitions or explosives of any kind were being carried as cargo. But eyewitnesses at the Cairo airport claim otherwise. So they claim that when the DC-8 was still in Cairo, the 101st Airborne... I didn't say that, huh? That's who it was. That's who was on board. I'm so sorry. I didn't state that. It was the 101st Airborne that was on the flight. So a very elite group of people. So they waited like 8 hours while they were transferred from a different aircraft onto the DC-8. Eyewitnesses say that the duffel bags and belongings of 48 members were left on the tarmac in favor of loading the plane with wooden boxes. Many believe that there were weapons in these boxes. This is from people at the Cairo airport. So, back at Gander, investigating the crash, Harvey Day was one of the rescue workers at the crash site, and he says he saw 5 wooden boxes. He tried to walk like towards the boxes to see what it was, just because he was, he was a rescue worker, and that was his job to like oversee stuff. So, he was like quickly intercepted by military people. He said that he was about 10 feet from the boxes when he was again stopped, but not before he noticed that the state of the contents of the boxes. He said the boxes looked burnt, but they contained rifles and little metal boxes like ammo and like missiles. So he says he saw weapons, and they were like stacked and placed in like a roped off area where nobody else can get to them. He was told to leave because it was none of his business, as it was official military business. And Harvey also recalls an unusual hotspot resulting from the crash. So firefighters had a continuous stream of water to this particular spot, and they just couldn't put it out. So the fire kept flaring up despite the water that was being sprayed on it, and it continued to burn for like 23 hours. So they kept spraying it down, and then as soon as the water stream was removed, it would just like flare up again. Yeah. So to some, and then, so it kept, the fire, like I said, it kept burning for 23 hours. And within days of the crash, over 30 rescue workers started to feel ill. To some of them, their symptoms were of those with like radiation poisoning.
Whoa.
Yeah. So then the ground crew at Gander also claimed to have not seen ice on the airplane. One of them said that he even had his hand on the airplane. He said he would have noticed if it had ice. So it was probably de-iced, or it didn't collect ice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And according to an unnamed source, the U.S. government sealed its crash investigation records for a period of 70 years. But they, of course, deny this. Why would this be done if it had already been resolved? Why would they seal the records, So they deny having such records, and they don't exist. The family members of the victims question whether the U.S. government is covering up something politically embarrassing that could have been trouble for the Reagan administration, who, Reagan was president at the time. So was the government just protecting itself by putting at risk the life of those on board? So, like in the 1980s, the U.S. government had begun illegally selling weapons to Iran. There was the Iran-Contra scandal, or simply the Iran-Contra, was a political scandal in the United States that occurred during the second term of the Reagan administration. Senior administration officials secretly facilitated the sale of arms to the Khomeini. This is an Iranian politician and revolutionary. So the Khomeini government of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which was the subject of an arms embargo. The official justification for the arms shipment was that they were part of an operation to free 7 American hostages being held in Lebanon by Hezbollah, a paramilitary group with Iranian ties, connected to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So the plan was for Israel to ship weapons to Iran, for the United States to supply Israel, and for Israel to pay the United States. So this was like a negotiation that they were going to have in order to rescue these hostages. So they were going to do a trade for these weapons. And so Colonel Oliver North warned in 2 separate memos that the United States risked a renewed wave, quote, a renewed wave of terrorism. A U.S. reversal now could ignite Iranian fire. The hostages would be our minimum losses, end quote. So he's trying to prevent this. He's saying this is the least that could happen is that we would lose these hostages if we don't comply with the weapons. But however, they were like, we want to get these hostages out. We're going to give them the weapons, risking, something bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is believed that whatever happened in Gander would have caused an international incident or political embarrassment. So there was something on this aircraft that they believe could have implicated the Reagan administration and caused embarrassment, basically. So U.S. government investigators seemed to behave a little strange after the crash. One of these strange behaviors was that the crash site was bulldozed 3 months after. This is not normal. This is definitely not normal, especially for a situation where it's military aircraft, where it is thought that there might be some foul play.
Yeah.
So they claimed that this was done in order to discourage those visiting the site from taking souvenirs. Also, the remains of the plane were disposed of. They were just disposed of. Yeah. This was also not a usual practice.
Yeah, that seems so weird.
Right? Well, because it's not a usual practice, usually they take the pieces that they do have and try to reassemble it to the best that they can in order to study it and see what actually happened. We see this on the news all the time with when there's, plane crashes and they try to assemble it to see what caused it.
Yeah. That's so weird. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so weird.
I came across I think it was Dateline, or maybe an episode of 2020 as well, that they were investigating some new aircraft that had these sensors on it that if it felt that it was if they felt that the aircraft was at too high of an incline, they feared that it would stall, and so it would bring the nose back down. However, these sensors were faulty, and there was 3 crashes because of it. It was just recently. This was just a few years ago. And so it would take off and these sensors would read oh no, the nose is too high, and it would pitch the aircraft, but it would start nosediving. And because it's all computer, it would override the pilot. The pilot couldn't get the aircraft to fly straight anymore. So they were wrestling with this, and there was crashes, and these and so they continued to fly with these airplanes. And I believe there was an investigation, and I don't know, maybe fixing that error, and they're due to fly in the next few days, I think. Yeah, it was very interesting. Anyways, so the investigation, it took 3 years to complete, because for that same reason that they had bungled the evidence, gotten rid of everything. So it took 3 years. The shattered families were consoled by President Reagan, but they were not satisfied, and they needed more answers. The parents of one of those killed in the crash, James Douglas Phillips, his parents started an organization dedicated to getting answers. They requested several scrap samples from the DC-8, and to everyone's disbelief, the government actually sent them the scraps of metal. They received them, and they hired an expert to analyze the scraps, and he noted that there was a pucker in the metal that indicated there was an explosion coming from within the aircraft. There was also an insurance investigator that spoke to 2020 with the permission from his attorney, and he claims that there was an explosion on board. There was a hole in part of the aircraft that was recovered, that was a foot-by-foot explosion that could have been the cause of this. So it is believed that there was a fire or an explosion in midair, causing it to crash in a large fireball. It was also discovered that they did autopsies on the bodies, and a lot of the service members had a large amount of carbon monoxide in their bodies. They had breathed in the carbon monoxide prior to the crash. So carbon monoxide and hydrogen cyanide was what they found in them. So this is produced by the burning of materials like foam seats, which foam like you would find on aircraft. So they think that the airplane was on fire before it crashed, and they were able to inhale all of these fumes. Whereas if they crashed upon, or if they died upon impact, then they wouldn't have that in their systems.
Yeah. It would make sense if those witnesses said that they saw an airplane and was like, or this really bright light, and realized it was the airplane. I mean, that would make sense then to say that it looked like it was on fire, because then it very well could have been on the inside.
Exactly. Yeah.
Huh.
So.
Wow.
So all 256 people died, 248 of them servicemen, and 8 crew. So it was 8 crew members, 248 servicemen. As of September 2020, that death toll still constitutes the deadliest plane crash in Canada and the United States Army's single deadliest air crash in peacetime. Of the 248 servicemen, all but 12 were members of the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, most of whom were from the 3rd Battalion, 502nd Infantry. 11 were from the Forces Command Unit, and 1 was an agent from the Criminal Investigation Command, or CID. A memorial to the 256 victims at the crash site overlooks Gander Lake, and another memorial was erected at Fort Campbell. There is also a memorial park in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, just north of Fort Campbell. And as of 2018, the scar from the crash is still visible and can be seen on the ground and in satellite pictures. In 1991, our friend Les from the Canadian Aviation Safety Board, member? God damn it.
You're doing amazing, just so you know. You're doing amazing.
I'm so tongue-tied. It's too early. In 1991, Les Velotas from the Canadian Aviation Safety Board, he told the United States Congressional Committee that it was impossible. It was impossible for a thin layer of ice to bring down the aircraft. He published his exhaustive argument for the minority opinion that a possible in-flight explosion doomed the aircraft. And like I said, this is the worst aviation accident in military history to date, and that is their final conclusion was that it was ice, even though there's other evidence.
There's like hardly any evidence saying that there's actual ice. All these people denying that there was even ice on there, but they're still going to go with that it was ice.
Right.
And cover up whatever it possibly could have been.
Whatever possibly could have been, or that it was just, there was an in-flight explosion. They could have just looked into that.
Yeah.
They could have probably said, yes, we had weapons on board and there was an explosion, unfortunate explosion, but yeah.
What's so wrong about that? Like, what is so scary that you can't, admit that?
I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to be embarrassed by an incident like that. I don't know. It was really interesting to read all about it and to get into it and thinking, was it a terrorist attack? That was discounted right away.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole...
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, that is the tragic story of Aeroflight 1285.
Wow. If you all could just see my face the whole time as Veronica's telling us the story, my face is just, my mouth is open, my eyes are all wide, and it's just in my brain, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Wow. No words.
Yeah.
I have no words. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe later on we'll find something out, but as of now, like I said, it was just declared an accident and an unfortunate accident. But you have all these eyewitnesses saying that they saw it on fire before it crashed. It's like, why don't they follow up on that?
Right? Why wouldn't you? I mean, especially because it's winter and it's early morning, so it's not, the sun's not up, and you're going to remember seeing a bright light in the sky like that and then realize that it's an airplane. It's not something you're going to forget that you saw.
Right. Well, they're discrediting all these eyewitnesses from, the people that saw it in the sky to the people that were on site when, to help clean up or put out the fire. to the toxicology report saying that there was carbon monoxide in their lungs, which says that they were alive, inhaling this. And then, like I said, with when I say carbon monoxide and the other chemical that results from burning foam, which would be like the foam you find on an aircraft and the seats. So again, that means they were inhaling it. It was like a large amount of it. So they were inhaling that prior to impact because they would have all died on impact. And if they didn't, there would have been survivors then. There would have been some sort of evidence of them surviving at least for a few minutes. But it was so close to the airport that they were able to, respond pretty quickly. Especially, they have fire departments at the airport for that reason. So.
Yeah. Yeah, how can you dismiss all that? Yes. About the carbon monoxide and everything in their lungs. That would make no sense if it was just like the plane just crashed and that was it. No, that wouldn't, it wouldn't make any sense, especially all the people in the airplane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and then, the insurance investigator from the company said that the explosion was from inside to the out. So the way it I imagine it in cartoons where it kind of looks like a flower, where it explodes and it the metal is facing to the outside of the aircraft.
Yeah.
So it was that. It wasn't on the fuel tanks. It was on the fuselage. So if there had been an explosion, I would imagine that it would have been the fuel tanks, but I'm no expert. That's just my thinking. I've watched a lot of Wile E. Coyote cartoons. I know what an explosion looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what that looks like. That's crazy. Just everything that with it is so just blows my mind how they cleaned up so quickly and got rid of everything and
everything, yeah.
I hate when they do that. It's just an open shut case. Oh, yeah, this is what I think it is. That's that closed case. Done. Clean it up.
Yeah.
It never even happened.
Yeah. But then you have, these family members that are going to keep digging, and I hope they're still continuing to dig and trying to find more answers. But they weren't satisfied.
I wouldn't be either. Yeah, I don't blame them. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Yep. There you go, Jen.
Thank you for blowing my mind. Holy moly.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Blowing minds.
Wow. One episode at a time.
One episode at a time. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
My fellow dependas.
Dang. Crazy. Dang. Wow.
What you got for us?
Not exploding airplanes. Had enough of that today. Thank you, Veronica.
You're welcome.
Crazy story. But I do have information on an airbase.
Oh, give it to me.
So with the story last week, we were talking a lot about Kirtland Air Force Base. And so I was like, hey, why not give you some information on one of the bases in New Mexico?
Yay!
Woo! Fun stuff.
New Mexico. Land of what? What is New Mexico land of?
Oh, you know what? I think it's
the rising sun.
Something like that. I might have it in here. I have a lot of different stuff. It might be in here. We'll have to see. If not, I will tell you another day.
Okay.
We'll
come back to it.
We'll come back to it. So, Kirtland Air Force Base. I got most of my information from Wikipedia and the Air Force Base, the Air Force's actual page had some of it. They're also improving stuff, so I didn't get to get everything on there. But then there's a housing website and then Albuquerque's actual Visit Albuquerque website.
Of enchantment.
Oh, is that what it?
Yeah.
That's it.
This is what Google told me. New Mexico, the land of enchantment. Sounds
land
magical.
Of enchantment.
Mystical. Mythical.
It is. You know what? It is. And especially at Kirtland Air Force Base, because it's located in the southeast quadrant of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And now I just lost my spot. Look at that. I was so excited to say that.
You're in New Mexico. We're in
New Mexico.
Yeah.
It's not so bad, right? You know?
I've never been, so I don't know. It always looks pretty in pictures.
It is.
Very orange.
I think that's where we drove through when we were heading back to Arizona one year. I'm pretty sure we stopped and stayed in Kirtland, and I can't remember, and it's so bad. But I know we stayed in Albuquerque, so that had to be it. Right? I mean, it had to. Jen, you're a terrible military spouse, but that's what I have a podcast for. To teach me
to air
things.
out those grievances.
Let everyone know.
To prove to you how terrible we actually are.
I just have to use the Google.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes. So, Kirtland is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was named for the early Army aviator, Colonel Roy C. Kirtland. And the military and the international airport say this... Talking about tongue-tied.
See, it's too early. It's too early for tongue wagging.
Happening? I'm just really excited. So the military, so the base and the international airport share the same runways, making Albuquerque, ABQ, a joint civil military airport. I didn't know that. Oh. That's kind of cool.
That's like Honolulu. Honolulu and Hickam Air Force Base.
Yeah.
They share the same runway.
That just blows my mind that they can do that.
Share the wealth, people. Why
Share
not the runways?
There you go. Share it all. So, Kirtland is the largest installation in the Air Force Global Strike Command and the 6th largest in the Air Force. The base occupies 51,558 acres and employs over 23,000 people, including more than 4,200 active duty and 1,000 guard, and plus 3,200 part-time reserve personnel. I don't remember what year that statistic came out, but I know it's pretty recent.
Right.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Kirtland is home of the Air Force Materiel Command's Nuclear Weapons Center, or NWC. The NWC's responsibilities include acquisition, modernization, and sustainment of nuclear system programs for both the Department of Defense and Department of Energy. That's fun. The NWC is composed of 2 wings, the 377th Air Base Wing and 498th Nuclear Systems Wings, along with 10 groups and 7 squadrons. Kirtland is home of the 58th Special Operations Wing, the 58th SAO, an Air Education and Training Command, AETC, unit that provides formal aircraft type/model/series training. Oh, wow. The 58th SAO operates the HC-130J, the MC-130J, the UH-1N, Huey, HH-60G, Pave Hawk, and CV-22 Osprey aircraft.
Oh, okay.
I know one aircraft out of all of that. Just one.
I don't know any of that. That was just like you were mixing the alphabet with numbers.
That's what it seems like. The CV-22s I've seen. It's the Ospreys that are the ones that are helicopters that turn into airplanes.
Oh.
That's the only one I know out of all that. I like 130s, I know, but I only know C-130s because Dave used to work on those, and that's it.
I don't know any of them. I remember when we lived on Guam and we would drive by the runway, Kyle would point out, that's an F-15 and the blobby because you could tell by the tail. And I'm like, I don't care.
I'm like, I don't understand that at all. I'm like, it looks like, that one looks like a prop plane because it's got propellers, and that's all I know.
That one looks like a jet plane.
It's a jet. And he's like, no, it's not a jet. It's an A-10. And I'm like, what? Excuse me?
And you just
why do you gotta put letters and numbers together? I don't understand.
Why don't you just call them like regular names?
Yes.
Like the Charles. That's a Charles plane.
Yeah.
And
or that's a Karen over there.
That's a Karen.
She don't work very well.
That's a Eugene. He's so smart with the name like Eugene.
Yeah. Exactly. See? Much easier and understandable.
That's like when Kyle rattles off fire trucks. And if I say the wrong thing, he's like, that's a pumper. That's rescue, whatever. I'm like, they have water in them, don't they? Who cares? Who cares? They're red and they have water in them.
They got red. They got flashy lights.
Yeah, he's like, actually, this one carries foam.
Oh.
Like, I don't care. Like,
that's
great.
Go save
red,
the people.
Whatever. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. So Kirtland's mission fall into 4 major categories: research, development, and testing, readiness and training, munitions maintenance, and support to base operations for more than 100 mission partners. Dang, that's crazy. I'll put this out of order, and it's going to drive me nuts. But whatever, we're just reading down the road. So Albuquerque, on its own, has a slightly lower cost of living than the national average.
Oh.
And the sun shines more than 300 days a year, creating weather that is ideal for many outdoor activities like camping.
No.
But yeah, it's
Everything
true. So
yes.
Cost of living is awesome, so you will get more bang for your buck out there. But if you don't want to rent or buy your own house, you can get a house on their family housing area. It is
base housing?
Base housing, thank you. I was like, I read it as a family housing, and I was like, what else do you call it? Base housing. You can stay on base housing. It is managed by Hunt Military Communities. Kirtland Family Housing is zoned to the Albuquerque Public Schools, and residents may choose between 2 elementary schools, Sandia Base Elementary and Wary Elementary School. Both are located on base.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's unheard of in the States.
That's almost unheard of. Yeah, I know, like, back in the day they did, because, like, Kyle, when his family was stationed at Travis Air Force Base, I know he attended school on base, but you don't hear that very often anymore.
Not much, I know.
On base.
Yeah, I don't hear it quite often except for overseas. That's
right
where I think of them providing schools to military kids. So, but yeah, you get 2, a choice of 2. I took this straight off of their website. Kirtland Family Housing makes building a great life easier by offering you and your family access to a wide variety of amenities.
Oh.
Access to Van Buren Middle School and Sandia-based elementary schools. Town Center, Community Center. Resident events, which can't happen right now because of COVID. Walkable neighborhoods with easy access to picnic areas, trails, a fitness center, playgrounds, tot slots, no idea what that is, sports courts, and a resort-style heated pool.
Oh.
There's also easy access to Albuquerque metro area with plenty of sunshine, historic attractions, entertainment, dining, shopping, outdoor recreational activities like camping, cultural events, and natural beauty to enjoy.
Jen, you have a career waiting for you as a spokesperson for New Mexico.
I know, right? Gotta love it. Oh,
good job.
I thought that was funny. But seriously, it is a lot of good. I mean, Kirtland's located just in a good spot. You can get to anywhere you basically need, which is great. Most areas are like that, so I don't know why I said that. Anyway.
Well, like, the military tends to, like, get land where it's cheaper and it's not the best location, but usually it's adjacent to a bigger city, so.
I know, right? You know, Albuquerque, I heard, is pretty good, so we're going to learn about that, too.
Okay.
But, yeah, you're pretty close to everything. So, if you have base access, the amenities on base, as always, are the commissary, the BX, gas station, dental clinic, auto skills center, barber shop, beauty shop, the child development center, medical clinic, family center, veterinary clinic, fitness centers. They have 2, I believe. A library, a golf course, and the chapel.
They have a golf course?
They do. They have a golf course, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. You can stay at the Kirtland Inn for TLF or just
Visiting
your
family members.
Stay through needs. Yeah, family members, anyone needing a hotel room.
Driving through.
Places to eat, because that's the most important.
That is the most important.
Places to eat on base. The Bogey Bar and Grill, Jitters Coffee Shop, Mountain View Club, Relativity Bar and Grill, Spare Time Grill, and Kiva Juice. Kiva?
Mm-hmm.
Kiva. I'm going to say
Yeah,
Kiva.
sounds about right.
Ooh, and this one's just for you, Veronica. There's a
Okay.
fam camp for camper van staying.
Okay, I probably do a camper van.
Right? Because then you have like
yeah.
your built-in, you got a bed, you got a kitchenette, you've got a bathroom.
Yeah.
You're set.
I'll do that.
That can be
I'd rather
fun.
do that.
You can rent out a space, and a full hookup, I think it said for the full hookup per day was like $25 a day or so.
I could do that.
Which is not bad. I think that's pretty fun. They have those at varying, I don't know if it's at every single Air Force base, but I know like Davis-Monthan had one. It was where all the retirees would like to go and stay.
Montana had one as well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very appealing to me. Like, it was just kind of off in a corner of base and like overlooking a railroad track.
Oh.
So it wasn't that appealing, but I could see like people that have an RV like storing it there, or like family members that have one and are visiting, they could stay there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Something to do, at least. Other amenities include obviously ITT, arts and crafts. Like I said, fitness centers, they have 2, bowling, outdoor recs, swimming pools, as I believe they have an outdoor and an indoor. The golf course, movie theater, and Aero Club Flight Training Center.
Aero flight?
Yeah.
That's a coincidence. Your story and my story today.
Weird, right? All right.
Yeah.
I know. So there's actually 2 CDC centers on Kirtland Air Force Base, so that's good. If one's full, you got another one to choose from. There's Auto Hobby and an MVD. So you don't even have to go off base to go get your license or whatever you need to do.
Oh, God.
They got one there for you,
wonderful.
and hopefully it's faster than the sloths that are working at the other ones. They type one letter an hour. That's basically
it. Oh my gosh, I know. That's what it feels like, right? It's
yes.
like, why can't I have more access to this online? Why do I have to stand in line to have my picture taken when you don't even say 1, 2, 3 smile? You're like, stand there, click. Be like, no, my eyes are closed. I was mid sneeze. I don't care.
I could take my own picture. I can take my own picture and send it to you. Please.
Yeah. I'd look much better.
I know. They have an education center, of course, offering schools such as Embry-Riddle, Wayland Baptist University, Lewis University, and University of New Haven.
Okay. So they usually have on base.
Yeah, same stuff. So they offer like in-person school or online stuff. All right, so that's the base amenities there for you. All the same kind of cool stuff, things to do, whatnot. Yeah. So Albuquerque is a very outdoor friendly place for you to be. It's very family friendly. There are many attractions and sightseeing tours, outdoor activities, anything you could possibly imagine that you'd want to do outside, you'd be able to do it. There, you can take a scenic hot air balloon flight over the city.
Nope.
You can play a round at it's mine. Their award-winning golf courses. So there's golf courses, many off base. You can mountain bike in the Sandium foothills. Hike through history, which that's all they give you. Kayak the waters of legendary Rio Grande, or stroll through Old Town.
All that sounds great, except for the hot air balloon.
Oh, the hot air balloon is the best, and
no,
we'll get to that. There's even more exciting part with that. So there's also much you can discover inside as well. As the largest city in New Mexico, Albuquerque is packed with activities, culture attractions, and distinctive sightseeing opportunities. You can visit the National Hispanic Culture Center, the Indian Pueblo Culture Center, or one of our many world-class museums. They just have a lot of museums. Fun stuff to see. Learn about new cultures, history of New Mexico and of Albuquerque. In the food, come on, the food.
Yes.
You need it in your life. So, the hot air balloons. Albuquerque International Balloon Festival is the world's largest hot air balloon festival, which takes place each October, where you'll see hundreds of balloons in the sky at one time. Hundreds of these beautiful hot air balloons, all decorated, all different colors. I mean, it's just like you're like surrounded by them all the time.
Right. I've seen pictures of it, and it does look beautiful. I would never get into the hot air balloon because that's a crazy thought to me. But I would enjoy seeing them. I always get excited when I see a hot air balloon in the sky.
Me too.
So
I know. It would be beautiful to see. So my aunt lives in Albuquerque, and my mom has actually gone to this festival before, and I'm so jealous. One of these days I'm gonna go. It's you have to see it. It's just amazing. I don't know if it's like the sunrise part you want to go to, or maybe even both, the sunrise, sunset. I don't know how long it lasts. It's just something that you have to see. So Albuquerque's broken down for their I don't know what you would even call it. It's broken down into different sections of areas you can go to throughout Albuquerque, and they all have different diverse things that you can go see. So historic Old Town, it's the heart of Albuquerque since the city was founded in 1706. It's the city's culture center with 7 museums and more than 100 shops, galleries, and restaurants. Downtown Albuquerque. It has the bustling nightlife along with Central Avenue, which is Route 66, including many nightclubs, theaters, and restaurants. The Albuquerque Convention Center is located downtown, and it's close to several major hotels, so that looks kind of like the party time. That's where you want to go if you want to have a good time.
Right.
You know, staying out late. I can't do that anymore.
For the young people who like the nightlife.
Exactly. The nightlife. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nob Hill is a vibrant district with eclectic shops, swanky dining, and chic night spots. Its Route 66 architecture and neon signs combined with predominantly local-owned shops, galleries, and restaurants. So it's more of just that more like hip, artsy type of area.
Okay. It sounds nice.
I know, right? Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Airport area is obviously home to Albuquerque Sunport, which is what they call their airport. It has major sports stadiums. Right, Sunport. I love that.
Yeah, Sunport. This is where you park your sun. This is where the sun arrives.
The sun is here.
And board your sun, please.
Board your sun.
Yeah.
Join in on our sunshine. Here it is. There it goes. And here it's back again. It has major sports stadiums, arenas. This is where Kirtland Air Force Base and Sandia National Laboratories. Oh, that's important. Maybe someone needs that. Sure.
Laboratories.
Yeah. And then, obviously, plenty of hotels, all located near the airport, because everybody needs a hotel near the airport.
Yes.
If you don't stay very long.
This is true.
Midtown University area is centered around the University of New Mexico. It has hotels and restaurants that are conveniently located near the I-25, I-40, or Big I. Uptown area encompasses a major business center as well as Expo, New Mexico, and 2 of Albuquerque's main shopping malls. So Expo, New Mexico is home to the New Mexico State Fair, one of the largest state fairs in the country.
Oh.
In the country. During the year, it is a popular venue for sporting events, festivals, and concerts. Coronado Center and ABQ Uptown feature a wide range of shopping opportunities, including local shops and national department stores. There's a lot of shopping in Albuquerque. You will not be short on shopping. So the east side encompasses the foothills of the Sandia Mountains, which offer great outdoor activities such as hiking and mountain biking. The Sandia Peak Aerial Tramway takes visitors from the base to the top of the mountains on a spectacular ride. That sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
Balloon Fiesta Park / North I-25 area is home to, obviously, the Balloon Fiesta and the Anderson Abruzzo International Balloon Museum. So you can go to a museum even. See?
If it's something that they've been doing for so long, it's like they would have a lot of history on it. So
yeah,
how it got started and memorabilia, balloon.
I'd love to go
memorabilia.
Yeah, I would love to go to that just to learn about how that all started. How do you start like a whole fiesta of hot air balloons all at one time? You know, I'd love to know who thought of that.
It probably like it's the best day to fly a hot air balloon. Let's gather here, and then it just went from there.
Yeah. It's true.
Who knows?
I know, right?
It's pretty. It sounds fun.
It is. So there's just a few more. There's North Valley, Los Ranchos, areas are in a lush green valley that run along the Rio Grande. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
My white voice. Rio Grande.
Rio Grande.
Anyway, this area is known for its wonderful outdoor activities, wineries. Yes, please. Farmers markets and spas. That sounds fun.
Like hot air balloons and wineries go together because they do that in Napa, in the Napa Valley too.
Yeah.
And hot air balloons and wineries. It's a perfect combination.
I'm kind of already sold.
Hot air balloon.
I wouldn't mind going to New Mexico. I'm down.
It sounds pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had me on the 360 days of sunshine, or however.
I know, right? Yeah. Pretty much. They said it's like between like 300 and 360. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
The west side is marked by the peaks of dormant volcanoes.
Oh.
And the treasures of Petroglyph National Monument, where visitors can walk among ancient volcanic rock etchings.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
I love that. I love history stuff. It's so amazing just to see. Crazy to see stuff that's still around like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. South Valley maintain close ties to Albuquerque's Hispanic roots. It is here that you will find many excellent New Mexican and Mexican restaurants, as well as the National Hispanic Culture Center. Yes, please. I'm there.
Sign me up.
And finally, just the surrounding areas of Albuquerque, including Rio Rancho and the East Mountains, provide many unforgettable experiences, such as the Turquoise Trail and Tinkertown Museum. So, you will not be short of something to do in Albuquerque, like almost any day. You always have something to do. You have family in, you always have somewhere to take them. Somewhere different. I mean, I don't think you can probably hit all these places unless they plan to stay for like 2 weeks or so, but...
Yeah, it sounds like there's definitely a lot to see and to do. The hot air balloon thing sounds really fun to see if you go at the right time of year and to see the fiesta. I could just imagine like the sky just super colorful and all the hot air balloons, and just the culture itself I think would be really neat to experience.
Yeah, definitely. So Kirtland Air Force Base. There you go.
Yeah. For those of you that are possibly looking to go there or have recently received orders to be stationed there, this is a good info. We give you the best. Only the best. Yes. You can build from there. Well, you know, I think of like when I'm on Facebook and I see some of these groups dedicated to the spouses, and they're like, I just got orders to blah blah blah. Give me the good and the bad. And it's like, do you really want to hear the bad? Like, I would just want to hear the good because I can build from there and then make my own opinion on the bad situations. But it's like people go on there and it's like, I hated it there because it always rained or whatever, you know. It's like, well, that's your personal opinion when you hated it, but like if you give them the good, people can build from it and you know, and go with a positive vibe. At least when they get there, they're expecting good things, and then if bad things happen or they just don't enjoy it, so that's their own opinion. I don't know. That's we told some family where we were going. And right away, they started like saying that it was not a good place, that it was dirty and it was just so populated and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. They're like, well, this was like 50 years ago when I was there. I was like, so you can't just say that. So it's always good to hear good information like what you're putting out. When we do the base highlights, we give you the good, and that's all we give you. So yeah, that's great, Jen. Thanks. Good info.
Yes, you're welcome. I hope that helps out anyone who is moving or thinking about, you know, what it'd be like to move out to Albuquerque at least. Hopefully that helps and it's good. You need always, like Veronica said, just good information. Give people positive things because you know what? Everyone's going to experience different things on their own, and you don't want to start somebody off with, you know, a lot of negativity because that just ruins a place for you completely.
Yeah, because then you have that feeling in the back of your mind now. It's like, when is the bad thing going to happen? When am I going to get there and expect something bad to happen? But if you give them good feedback on where they're going, it's like they go in with an open mind.
Exactly.
Expecting these great things. And then whatever, they can make their own bad opinions about it later on. I don't know. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get really sad when I hear people shitting on other bases or posts or camps. And it's like, let them make their own opinion.
Yeah. Veronica, thank you for that amazing, crazy story that even though they concluded it, I don't think it's concluded at all.
Right.
No
it's
way.
Kind of fishy. It's very fishy.
Yeah, just a little.
Who knows? Yeah.
Just a little. So it's conspiracy theories, of course, but still.
Right.
When you're given certain evidence that other things could be in the works, then that's where all these, you know, other opinions come out of, and it just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't. We have a lot of questions and a lot of evidence that points in a different direction that I think should have been researched more. But, you know, 35 years later, we're still waiting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jen, for the Kirtland highlight. That was cool. That was neat. It sounds really nice. You said the cost of living is low. We're looking for a place to settle down one day. Might pitch that to Kyle. Right now, he's like pitching me Idaho. And I'm like, it's cold. It's pretty. It's very pretty. I like Idaho. Don't get me wrong. I do. But it's cold.
Yes.
This girl needs sunshine and warm weather.
More sunshine than the cold. You can deal with a little cold, but more sunshine, please.
Yeah. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas or Christmas Eve, or, you know, just a wonderful December 25th if you don't celebrate it. Whatever your belief is, whatever your decision for celebrating or not celebrating, I hope you had a wonderful time. And I hope that this New Year's is great as well. Ring it in quietly for everybody. I think it's going to be so different. But we're all ready to say goodbye to 2020 to see what shitstorm 21 brings us.
Yes, for real.
Yeah. I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I hope that I'm leaving it all up to science. And I believe in science. And so we're hopeful.
You got to be optimistic. Otherwise it's just depressing.
Yeah, it's already depressing, but I'm trying to be optimistic about the depression and be like, it's okay, we're on lockdown. Guess what? Now I have more time to clean the house and purge some more shit that I don't need.
Right?
Great. That's how I see it. Yeah. I've been content staying home, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Like, aside from you and our other friends not being here, I'm totally content with staying home and not doing anything. So, it's fine. For me, it's fine. If you guys were here and we could go out and do stuff, then it'd be more depressing. But
yes,
I'm okay with it.
It'd be harder.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't think I have
I
worn
agree.
jeans in like 3 weeks.
I know. It's the best. It's the best. You know, it sucks. You know, everything is just weird and it sucks and it's different. And we all just kind of have to go with the flow because, I mean, what else are you going to do?
There's not much we can do.
No, it's harder to just be like sad and upset about it, and be sad and have your emotions and be, you know, be upset or be angry, and, you know, that's fine. Be in your emotions because
that's fine. You're entitled to them.
Yeah, it's healthy. Get it out. Yep, for sure. So just don't let it like get you down the whole time because there are other things you can do for sure.
Like emailing us. You can email us. Tell us all about it. We are here for you. We are your therapist. We are unqualified. Yeah. Uncertified. But we're here for you. You can do that at dependenceplaining@gmail.com or leave us a comment on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And then make sure you rate us on your listening platforms and subscribe. And also don't forget to check us out on Milso Muster, that you guys can download that app. And for $4.99 a month, you get all your military information needs from Milso Muster. So check them out. I just want to wish everyone a happy new year. It's going to be good. It's going to get better. This is only temporary. These feelings are only temporary. Don't forget that. It may feel like it's been a lifetime and this will never go away, but it will. And we will be able to see our loved ones and hug our loved ones very soon. And thanks guys for listening.
Thank you all. Yes. Everyone have a really good new year. But like the meme says, don't claim it. Don't claim it as the best year. Don't do anything. Just quietly sneak into the new year. Don't upset it. You know, because
leave it alone. Don't poke it. Don't feed it after midnight. Don't throw water on it.
No, we don't want to know what
Don't put it on blast on Facebook.
What will happen.
Don't look at it in the eye.
Nope. Don't disrupt the beast.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know if it's good or not yet. So
you don't want to run away from it and startle it. Just kind of like ball up into the fetal position and just let it do its thing. It'll go away eventually.
Will it go away? Will it though? I don't know.
It will. It will.
Okay. It will.
Yeah.
Just let it be. Have a wonderful new year. Stay positive. Email us if you're feeling down or you just need a chat. Email, Facebook, Instagram. We're always around for any of that chatting. So because wherever you go, there you are.
Goodbye, 2020.
Goodbye. Bye. See you next year.